So what if the one dream you've always wanted felt impossible? Too risky, too expensive, and so terrifying it stopped you from even trying? Hey, I'm Zach Hooley, and for as long as I can remember, I've dreamed of becoming a pilot, flying solo and camping in the backcountry under the stars. Doesn't that sound amazing? Today, I'm taking on the adventure of becoming a pilot in just 10 days.
It's just too much fun.
We just finished our safety briefing and signed our 10-page waiver, signing our life away.
First run with the paramotor.
Yeehaw! Come join me as I wrestle with what it really means to keep chasing dreams, no matter the doubts and fears that pop up along the way.
The dream there. It's been a few days of storms, but we're walking our motors out here. This is ultra exciting. What a mess. It's taking me quite a while to figure this thing out.
I'm excited for you to experience the feeling of my first solo flight, with a backpack propeller and my feet dangling in the sky.
I was designed for this. Here we go.
Are you ready for that adventure? Sit back and experience the story of how I became a pilot in 10 days. You know how I said I've wanted to become a pilot for as long as I can remember? Well, it started with flying dreams when I was a young boy. You know, the ones where you jump and the jump just gets higher as gravity gets lighter until eventually you master flying through the air just by pivoting your arms like an airplane? Well, from those dreams in the night, it becomes a daydream, always wondering what it would feel like to fly. Now, I'm smart enough not to try the umbrella from the roof stunt, but I'd see the winds roaring across the brown fields on our spud farm in southern Idaho and convince my little brother, "Hey, let's bundle up, put our swim goggles on, and take my bedsheet into the field." Eventually, he'd set his Legos down and join me as two farm boys braved our way into the cold winds of March, with goggles keeping the blowing sand out of our eyes. We'd each hold two ends and create a sail, run with the wind, and leap into the sky. Now, we'd sometimes fly, but mostly get dragged across the field and return home with nothing more than ripped jeans. When I lived in Romania, I take my first big leap on a mountain bike. My foreign friends and I get caught up in the thrill of it all, and one day we decide to build a jump over an open fire. What I don't know is that my French friends secretly throw gas on that fire just as I hit the gap. Yeah, I lose all my leg hair on that one, and my already scruffy 15-year-old beard becomes even scruffier. But you know what? For a few moments, I was flying, and the smell of burnt hair fades with that feeling. When winter comes in the village, my pops helps me strap some rawhide bindings to plastic roofing, and I learn to snowboard. What's the first thing I do? I convince my brother to help me build massive jumps in the Carpathian Mountains. This is before snowboarding is even that popular, so we're out there figuring it out on our own, risking our bones to get that feeling of nothing but air beneath our feet. When our family moves back to Idaho, I keep pushing myself harder with downhill mountain biking, competing in the state championships. But no matter what I'm doing, I'm always looking for something more, something bigger, something higher. For my senior project in high school, I set my sights on building my own helicopter. Turns out that isn't in my budget, so I build a hovercraft from scratch instead. Spend all winter in the shop, working with foam, fiberglass, and fans. I fire it up in front of my peers, and to everyone's surprise, including my own, I fly across the high school parking lot. Pretty sure it's the first one in Idaho. But even hovering a foot off the ground isn't enough for me. All through my 20s, I have this urge to jump off anything I can find. Rocks? Jump them. Boulders? Yep, those too. Great Wall of China? Why not? I'm crazy enough to get airborne on cross-country skis. Turns out, they're not wings. I'm always chasing that feeling of freedom, that sensation of leaving the ground behind, even if it's just for a second. So I've been chasing this dream for a while, and after 3 years of a midlife crisis, I finally decided it was time to make it happen. Though it still feels impossible, expensive, and downright terrifying, I signed up for training at Backcountry PPG in Utah, but now I need to get there.
I'm at my work site now in Southern Oregon, and I have my Subaru here that I need to get ready. I have a 2-inch hitch, and there's no lights for a trailer that I'm gonna pick up down in Sacramento. I'm going all over the United States to make this dream possible. And so I got a 4-way trailer wiring harness I'm gonna install, and then a bracket to attach it to the hitch, and I gotta pull everything apart in here to get all that on. I'm gonna put some struts, liftgate struts here, because this doesn't hold any longer and they're just weak. And some license plate covers and some windshield wipers and all the good stuff.
Okay, so I got the Subaru all ready and drove down to California, and I am now about to pick up a little something that is going to help me in this enjoyable, wild, crazy extravaganza of a flying through the air.
Ready to see this little something I'm adding to my Paramotor adventure? Here we are. There's the Subi, there's the trailer. Picked up for a killer deal because it's had a little oops. It's tipped over on its side and got some damage here and there, but it fits my budget. But this will both be transportation and it will be storage for winter months and storage, I guess, 365 nights of the year, because I live in a yurt and I don't have a house and I don't have a garage and I don't have another roof or a sealed room. So this is going to be sealed, it's going to be waterproof, and it's going to keep everything tip-top shape, ready for me to fly up there. What is that going to feel like? To, of course, a quick stop at Chipotle. And a to-go bowl loaded to the max with double rice, double beans, amazing meat, and 2 large tortillas is the way to go. You get 2 meals in one. Okay, I made it a little ways off the highway, found a dirt road up into the mountains. I'm somewhere between California and Nevada, near the state border, doing some wild camping, and got my sleeping bag set up down here beside the Subi. Underneath the stars, there's a crescent moon out. It's gonna be some wild sleeping. I'll see you in the morning. Good night.
Good morning. It was a bit nippy in the Sierra Nevadas last night. I slept good listening to the babbling brook of Strawberry Creek and seeing the stars above. It was an amazing night. And I got the Subi and the Paramotor in the trailer. And I have like over 600 miles to drive today, so I better pack it up and hit the road and continue this adventure and get to my destination this evening, because my training begins tomorrow morning.
Good morning, geese of South Lake Tahoe. Can't believe I'm here. I wish I could stay all day. I wish I could stay many days. There's so many things to do. But I have one goal in mind, and that is to get up in the air, and training starts tomorrow morning, and I still have a long, long way to go. I love this setup in the back of the trailer. Yesterday's Chipotle leftovers made this epic burrito that I'm gonna go eat and keep driving on the freeway. Best thing about Chipotle is it still tastes good the next day, right? If you have a burger, it's not very good the next day. It's kind of cold, but these, perfecto.
Oh
Almost 700 miles later, several bags of trail mix, multiple apples and bananas, and finished all my Chipotle. I am finally arriving at my destination. I see some trailers. I'm pulling a trailer. I think I'm supposed to pull over here. All right, my friends, it looks like after starting in California, driving across the entire state of Nevada, and arriving in Utah, I've made it to my final destination. I'm gonna crawl into my cozy sleeping bag that I have set up. Gonna sleep under the moon and the stars. So we'll see you in the morning. Good night.
Good morning. We have a gorgeous sunrise here, and I am awake. Had an amazing night under the stars. I have been looking forward to this for so long, and just opened up the trailer, got out some food, got out some tea, and heating that up on my little table here. And the guys are arriving. We have people gathering together here in this field. Some amazing things are going to happen with that view. Look at that sunrise glow over those Utah mountains. I'm going to be up there. Like, what is that going to feel like to fulfill a lifelong dream of being in the air alone? Get ready for a wild ride. This is the new look of this hooligan here. We just finished our safety briefing and signed our 10-page waiver, signing our life away. And we're gonna get to some kiting. And so I have a kite and my helmet, and gonna strap a harness on, and we're gonna get started like right away. This is awesome.
Okay, so this is first time ever touching a wing in my life.
Heck yeah.
It looks like a bundle of a mess, and I'm gonna figure out how to get this thing in the air.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I got Mike here to help me. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Remember, all we're doing is we're just guiding the A's. So if we push the A's, we'll actually tackle the winglets. That's not what we want to do. We want to just lift the A's.
The A's are the ones I'm holding with my thumbs.
The A's are the ones you're holding with your, the leading edge makes sense. It's the leading edge of the wing.
Leading
so
edge.
Check this out. As we bring that wing up, we're just simply leaning forward, guiding that. As soon as the A's get right here, we're going to let them just pop out of our hands.
Okay.
Breaks down to our chin. We're going to run underneath the low side and apply the opposite brake. So
apply the opposite brake.
I'm going to help.
Okay. It's pretty wild. First time kiting a wing. Okay.
Oh, bars! Yes, easy brake. Easy. Yes, and stop. Yeah, good job.
Okay.
You're just doing way too much brake. That was great. It was
way too much brake. Pulling on these.
Yeah, so,
okay.
So wing fell left, you ran left, but you just did really hard. So it's just a
little bit. Okay.
Yeah. And remember, the other thing too is, so when we change the direction, think about you're on the highway on an off ramp, not in town. So it's not.
Okay. It's smooth. Yeah. Okay.
So you did great. The first time, nice inflation, all that was good.
That feels wild, having a wing up above. So I need to hold on to the A's longer?
You gotta let the A's come out of your hand. They'll fall off, and then, so you came right here, let go of the A's, so the wing was never flying.
Oh.
So you acted like a dragster.
Okay. All right. Looks like I'm gonna be doing this for several days. There we go, thank you. Okay, we just finished up our morning session of ground kiting, I think that's what you call it, and we had a blast. Everyone did amazing. There's 6 other students besides myself, and we're getting to know each other, seeing our abilities and hearing our passions for getting in the air. A couple people already have their pilot's licenses and fly planes and such, and some of us have never been in the air. So, pretty cool to be with this crew, and we are all heading over to a local coffee shop to do some ground school now and learn about weather and everything else that we need to know to become pilots. How exciting is this? I'm just having the time of my life. And it hasn't even been half of day one. And this training is 10 days of beautiful adventure, learning how to fly in the sky.
I'm having a blast, but can I keep up with the other pilots who seem so far ahead, mastering knowledge that feels completely foreign to me?
All right, ground school is pretty epic. I learned so many new terms, and it's going to take me a while to get them all in. There's risers and A-lines and brakes and rotor and windward and leeward and anabatics and catabatics and all sorts of wind terminology that is just super fun to learn. I love learning new things, and so getting all of this into my brain and learning how to navigate airspace is such a new concept for me. Super stoked about all that. We left ground school, had a bit of a lunch break, and now we are meeting out at some salt flats where there's some better wind to do some evening sessions of more ground handling on these kites. All right, we are at our destination for the afternoon and evening. This is such a wildly different landscape than I'm used to up in far north Idaho, where everything's lush green and mountains all around. This is just like flat. I call this the flats for a reason. But we have consistent wind here, and that's why we're here. Learn how to handle our kites. Learn how to be in control of our kites, no matter the circumstances. So here we go.
Now, I'm going to do a 180 twist to simulate the turn, so that when that glider's overhead, I could turn and launch forward kite.
So again, whatever riser's on top, you take the opposite hand,
So this
grab
is
that riser.
right riser's on top.
On
because
top.
It's my right
That's
carabiner.
it, it's on top. So you reach it over, grab that one, reach down, grab that one, put them together. We'll show you. You'll get it. You'll figure it out.
Oh my. Still getting the hang of that. But the wing is in the air. Get above me. Learning to lean. Which one to pull the brakes. Lean into it and back. And up again. Got the seagulls flying above, hanging out on the salt flats. Ooh, go down. Yeah, come on, run into it. There we go. It's just too much fun. Kiting glider in the Subi. And that is the end of day one of training. Day one of 10. Ready for more. I'm gonna go find some dinner because that works up an appetite. Kiting all afternoon. Oh my goodness. So much joy. I don't eat fast food much, but when I do, I choose In-N-Out. Okay, a burger in the belly and kiting skills in the brain. I am one wholeheartedly happy Hooley, going down for some sleep under the stars and the moon. That is a beautiful, amazing day. Until tomorrow, good night. Okay, first kiting with the 28-meter wing that came with my setup. This thing is massive. It is twice as big as the little 14 meters I was doing. Holy smokes. That's huge. Wow. Yeehaw! Woo! Oh my word, that's huge. Wow.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Jordan.
Yep. Do it again.
That was fun. Oh man, I'm gonna be doing this my whole life. There we go. I am holding the inside of my helmet and it is sopping wet with sweat. It feels good, I feel fit. Yeah, David! Man, I'm just having so much fun learning so many things and so many hip movements and where to put your arms and elbows and twisting and keeping your head straight and walking smooth and just absolutely loving this learning process. Can't recommend these guys enough. Mike and Jordan coming over and just constantly looking and helping us improve and getting better and better. It's like, it's the ultimate way, I'd say the only way that you should be learning paramotoring. And what an amazing setting to be learning this in. Such a fun place. And this is what it is, sunrise in the Utah mountains, south of Salt Lake City. All these other awesome guys. We're also learning, have a dream to fly up there. It's such an interesting material to work with. It's so lightweight and seems so fragile. Yet it's strong enough to enable human flight. How awesome is that? That ultralight aircraft is going to have me hanging on this harness underneath that wing up in that sky. I am wearing my paramotor on my back and I am clipping in to the frame of the paramotor. And this feels really wild, feels really heavy, feels very foreign.
There you go. Look at me. There you go. Breathe. Release.
Wow.
Under. Yeah, you overthink, man.
Wow.
It's so hard, man.
Around this way, spin, and down. Look at that. Whoa, that feels wild. First run with the paramotor on my back and the wing over my head. That felt so wild. The lift of the wing over my head and then moving. Then he gave me a little bit of a thrust and I could feel what it was gonna be like. I can't even imagine the rush of running this runway with the thrust of an engine and lifting. That was incredible and exhausting. All right, I walk this thing back over here and now take this thing off. Unbuckle 1, 2, 3, 4, arms through the loop, and then slide down the leg, and it's off. Oh my word. So after our motor test and feeling the power and the thrust of these Vitarazi motors on our backs, it's lunchtime and it was getting a little hot. I was making my salad and I remembered I had this little tarp that I picked up on Marketplace for like 20 bucks. And so I threw that up with a couple poles here next to the little trailer and I'm liking the setup. I got the cooler right there, set up a little table right here, just enough shade to make an amazing salad. I'm so ready for that. I'm feeling it. Wow, it is a lot of energy to pack a motor and pull a wing up and run, and plus all the mental energy of learning all of this. So, pretty fun, loving life, gonna fuel up. We'll see ya.
You got pretty close there. That was a little close. Nice job though, buddy. That was good. That's amazing.
With the help of a 2-stroke engine strapped to my back, I finally feel empowered, like this dream of flying is actually within reach. I'm ready to take that first leap into the sky. But then...
Day 6. And this is the desert that we're waking up to. Sky's a little different and not quite as pleasant for flying, especially flying ultralight aircrafts with fabric wings. Rain does not work for that.
I usually love the rain, hearing the gentle pitter-patter on the canvas of my yurt, but not today, not when I'm so close to fulfilling a lifelong dream.
Wet and cold.
So to keep the dream alive, while we wait for the skies to clear, we visit the renowned Superfly paragliding shop and meet Chris, one of the industry's foremost experts.
Paragliding shop. Look at this. Helmets and harnesses and wings and...
Yeah, all sorts of fun stuff.
Oh, this is awesome.
My favorite.
Look at all this stuff. Over here.
This is the harness I
All the harnesses.
flips inside out into a backpack.
No way. Look at
So I
that
can
thing.
actually put my glider in a bag like that, put it in the backpack, and then hike up. So in harness form it looks like that, in backpack form it looks like that.
No
I
way.
can put that in the backpack, hike up, flip it inside out into harness, and fly away.
That's the way to do it.
And I want to do it all. Outdoor gear shops call my name just as much as flying does. But to be honest, I've spent most of my life as a window shopper. With the steep price tags in this sport, I know buying anything new isn't an option. But I didn't come all this way just to daydream about gear I can't afford. I came to fly. With only a few days left of training, I'm really hoping the weather clears tomorrow.
I am so grateful for REI down sleeping bag that I've had for over 15 years. But it was a little harder getting out of that thing this morning. Because if you can see around me, that is an overcast sky. It has been strong, consistent winds all night long. I'm not sure if you can see, but just in the foothills, just maybe 1,000 feet above us is snow. Weather said it was like 34, but it feels like 23 with the wind chill. And the Subi was just kind of rocking all night. So quite cold, a little harder to get out, but fortunately I have lots of layers. We have the windsock is just blowing consistently. And all of our paramotors are in that trailer right there. So we are not going to be flying today.
Another day grounded. It feels like a cruel joke, being so close to my dream, yet held back by forces completely out of my control. But instead of letting the frustration take over, I choose gratitude. I think back to how poverty has kept me grounded so many times before, and how I've learned to push through. Growing up on a spud farm in southern Idaho and spending most of my 20s as a volunteer serving underprivileged communities around the world, money has never been the driving force in my life. But becoming a pilot? Yeah, that's expensive. And with no steady income, I could never afford the dream of solo flight. In the thick of my midlife crisis, however, I realized this might be my best chance, a moment to take a leap towards something I've always dreamed of. As summer approaches, I hear about a friend needing some help in Oregon, so I pack my Subi, drive 800 miles, and begin working with an amazing crew restoring a ranch property. I drive tractors, operate Bobcat skidsters, clean out barns, rip out carpets, make countless dump runs, and organize storage spaces that haven't been touched in years. I even help set up a tiny house on wheels, planned a dedicated pad, wiring electrical panels, routing water, and figuring out drainage systems. It's dirty, sweaty, hard work, but it's the cost of chasing this dream. As summer ends, I pour all my hard-earned dollars into my Subaru, hitch, trailer, road trip, training, and a used paramotor setup on Craigslist. Finally, with everything I need, I've put it all on the line to be here. But with only 2 days left to learn how to fly this thing, the clock is ticking. Will it be enough?
And what do I have on my back? He told me to grab the paramotor. It's been a few days of storms and feel a little rusty. So we're gonna do some kiting first, but we are walking our motors out here. And for a first timer who's never been in the air, this is ultra exciting.
Then something unexpected happens. But it wasn't the weather. It's a storm brewing in my heart. The same fear that kept me grounded for so many years starts screaming, "You don't have the confidence for this. You will never be successful like the others. You're not enough."
All right, we have been out at Salt Air for several hours now. I've been kiting, and one by one, the other students have taken off into the air. There are 7 of us who started this course. One had to jump out, and then another had to kind of come out just due to unrelated injury in his leg. And so then we're 5, and then there's 4 of us here tonight, and 3 have been in the air. And I have not yet. I am feeling so nervous. I have not felt this nervous in I don't know how long.
I try masking my fear with a laugh, but I'm terrified. The instructors say I'm ready, but I don't feel ready. As the sunset is announcing the end of day 8, there's just one question left.
Is tonight the first night these feet get off the ground? We're about to find out. Okay, I'm gonna fly. Deep breath in. There we go.
Fear strikes hard. What if you fail, just like all the other times in your life? And for a moment I hesitate, feeling the weight of every misstep and setback pulling at me. But after chasing this dream through all my failures, I choose to press through the fear, run towards my dream, and take the leap. This feeling, soaring through the sky with nothing but a backpack propeller and my feet dangling beneath me. For so long I've imagined this moment, dreamed about it, worked for it, and kept pushing when it felt out of reach. But now that I'm up here, I'm no longer chasing a dream, I'm living it. As the sun dips lower, I get the call to come down. Let's see if I can stick this landing without breaking a leg. This wasn't just about getting off the ground. It's about breaking through everything that's tried to hold me down. All of it feels so small now compared to the freedom I feel in the air.
That is so wild. Oh man, that's amazing.
That's pretty great.
I was so stoked on flying and then so focused on landing, I totally forgot to run. I was just like, I landed!
Yeah, buddy.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you, Jordan. Okay, so that was like far beyond anything I expected. Just the initial thrust of 185 cc's on my back, taken off into the wind, and that first exhilarating just lift into the sky, feel all the weight of the motor off my back, and then it was just climb, 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 and it was crazy how quickly I was up in the air. My heart was pumping, and I wasn't thinking about any of the fears or collapses or falls or anything. I was just in the thrill of my first flight. I will forever remember that first flight and like looking right into the Utah sunset. I am smiling ear to ear, not from being nervous anymore, but just the exhilaration of finally achieving that first flight of what I've longed for. The landing was interesting because I was just so focused on the flight and having so much fun. I totally forgot to run. I felt like I landed like the Iron Man land. Oh man, it feels like a superpower having this thing on my back. Like that is personal flight.
I was flying in the sky with something strapped to my back. More tomorrow, I can't wait.
So while I'm driving down this back road where there's no cars whatsoever, I'm going to call my mom and pops and share, because they've been super supportive on this whole journey, and just want to share the moment with them.
There you are.
Hey, Abby!
Why?
I just had a surge of adrenaline flowing through every molecule in my entire being, because I was flying in the air tonight.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, celebration.
Oh, man, it was so wild.
Successful takeoff, successful land.
It was. I mean, like, partial. It was successful, and then there was no injuries. I definitely took off very beginner-like, and I landed extremely beginner-like, but I took off and I landed.
Well, that's exciting. Congratulations. Not bad.
Crawling into my sleeping bag, I reflect on what just happened. My first solo flight as a paramotor pilot. For the first time in my life, flight isn't just something from my dreams. It's my new reality. But my dream is so much more than just flying and landing in one spot.
I now know what it feels like to be in the air and how much better it is than being down on the ground. Just a slight breeze, perfect conditions. I am excited beyond belief for flight number 2 on day number 9 of backcountry PPG training.
Look down below!
I am wholeheartedly happy to be in the air again. And although I've taken the first step in powered paragliding, there's still a long journey ahead before I can push into the backcountry and experience a true fly camping adventure. The dangers of mountain flying in my future remind me how much more I have to grow, not just as a pilot, but as a person. With this higher perspective, I'm finally seeing that life's setbacks aren't the end of the road. I just have to keep moving forward.
I didn't want to come down.
But my expectations as a new pilot are about to be challenged in more ways than one.
Okay. It is day 10. It is the last day.
I'm so ready to nail some takeoffs and landings, especially after my not-so-graceful tumbleweed crash. But when we get to salt air, the wind is questionable. So instead of flying, we spend the day in ground school, covering motor maintenance and reserve deployment. Important stuff, sure, but all I can think about is getting back in the air. But to my great dismay, the weather front gets more intense. We pack up our motors, and just like that, my 10-day training is over. All the students leave, but I'm not ready. I can't leave. Not until I can take off and land on my own with confidence. But with night after night of storms, day after day of strong winds, I sit in coffee shops and transfer these files, wondering if I did all this work for only 5 flights. I needed some serious inspiration.
So to pilots and those who love playing in the sky, you already know what these are, but I didn't even know places like this existed. I was just invited when I was at Superfly, and Chris was helping me put on a new harness, and Kylan and the crew there, Turtle, they were all helping me put this new harness on my paramotor. And they said, hey, we're going out to the flight park. And I'm like, flight park? What's a flight park? I've never even heard of such a thing. Well, here's a little glimpse. There's a trailer full of harnesses and helmets and paragliders. And you ready for this? This is such a spectacular sight. I am just like a kid in a candy store having the time of my life. Just being introduced to an entirely new sport that I didn't even know existed, that had so many people who are doing this. Look at that. Is that not one of the most beautiful sports you can do? Is just, you get to watch the sunset over the valley and learn to practice with the wind, keeping these kites in the air.
Watching wings rise around me against this breathtaking backdrop, something shifts inside. So with inspiration stirring in my heart and the glow of sunrise on the horizon, I'm finally ready to fly again. But this time, can I do it completely alone?
I am still here at Backcountry PPG's training location everyone is gone, and I just stuck around because I wanted to get in some more flights. And this morning finally looks like a morning that I can fly. There's been plenty of mornings that I haven't been able to fly because it's just way too windy. We had like a crazy gust storm, like 35-mile-an-hour gusts coming through. Like, you don't want to be up in the air then. I'm going to get my paramotor and my wing and all my stuff out. I'm going to lay it out, and I'm going to go fly for the first time without radio instruction and just enjoy being a pilot, because I'm a pilot now and I can fly. Shoot, shoot, shoot.
What a mess. It is taking me quite a while to figure this thing out.
To be honest, I'm a brand new baby beginner pilot, and the risks are much higher without any instruction. But I've been chasing this dream for so long, it's time to keep living it.
So, here we go again. Gonna lay this wing out, and we're gonna do this right. Today is the day. Without instruction in my head. We're gonna go recall everything that I've just learned. There it is. I was born for this. I was designed for this. Here we go.
That courage isn't about one dramatic leap of faith. It's about choosing to chase your dreams day after day, no matter how many obstacles stand in your way. And I can tell you from here, it's all worth it. I'd like to share a poem I wrote to remind us both that courage is not about perfection, it's about progression. High above the world so free, on wings of wind we ride and see the earth below, a tapestry, as we soar in sweet liberty. Casting off the weight of ground, in the clouds our dreams unbound, a dance of joy without a sound in the vast blue playground. Freedom's call is in the air, adventure waits for those who dare. Above the earth, beyond compare, in flight we find our courage rare. So my friend, what if the one dream you've always wanted felt impossible, too expensive, too risky, and so terrifying it stopped you from even trying? You chase your dream. Because when we dare to rise above our finances, overcome our fears, and press through our failures to take that leap, we discover that the sky isn't the limit. It's just the beginning to a life of freedom. So if you enjoyed this story of how I became a pilot in 10 days, give this one a thumbs up. I'd love to read your dreams in the comments, no matter how big or small. If you'd like to share this journey of life as we navigate the highs, the lows, and everything in between, you're welcome to subscribe for more, because this wholehearted Hooley will be flying in my new reality as a paramotor pilot. Thanks for joining.
Okay.